Hello, everybody.
Hello, hello.
Happy people of the world. Isn't there a song? Happy people of the world. Oh, that's
What is it? Is it the
Spice Up Your Life. Spice Girls.
I was thinking of the B-52 song.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Shiny Happy People.
How come, so we both felt the same way?
Yeah. The B-52 song.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, Shiny Happy
We got
People.
feedback. So we both felt
Are you watching ourselves as we're like 3 seconds later?
I forgot.
This is your version of multidimensional realities. You're watching all the timelines.
You hear an echo from another dimension.
Connect.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, everyone.
We're back.
How you guys doing? Where are you?
Yes.
Yeah, give us a shout out where you're watching us from. If you are here for the first time, say hello and we'll say hi back.
So we just got back 10 days on the road, on location, going to paranormal, haunted hotels, cemeteries. Did we go to any houses?
Battlefields.
Battlefields.
We went to, that one super haunted hotel, which we didn't stay in, but we went to visit, used to be
thank
kind of
God we didn't stay in it, because that was probably, out of the whole 10 days, that was the most haunted place we went to.
That place was called the Shanley Hotel.
Yeah.
And it's in upstate, it's in Napanoch, New York, which is maybe 2.5 hours out of Manhattan. And we drove up there, and let me tell you, it's definitely one of the most paranormal spots that we've ever been to.
Yeah, if you guys want to be absolutely terrified, definitely spend the night there. Do you remember the name of the woman? We ended up following her on Instagram. What was her name?
I don't know.
Okay, well, she was really great. She told us a lot of stories. I think she actually had a past life there. I mean, that's the first thing I saw. But we recorded all of this. We got so many interesting moments. I don't even want to spoil anything, you guys, but we did a lot of observing, reporting.
Mm-hmm.
We told you everything that was happening in our space, in our field, what we were feeling as an empath and intuitive. I was getting so much information. Riz was feeling things, and it was crazy. So I hope you guys love it, and it's going to be probably
like in 2 weeks.
Less than 2 weeks is going to be airing for sure. A 2-hour special.
Yeah. So who's up for tonight? I see the chat box just scrolling and scrolling along.
Look who's here. I cannot believe this. We don't see her all day, and she comes right when we don't want her to be here.
Come here.
Are you wanting to hold her?
Yeah. She's deciding who she wants to be with.
She's going to cramp my style.
Oh.
She wants you.
Come on. Come on up.
This is Moomy.
Come up. And I'm Riz.
Oh.
We didn't say who we were.
This is Moomy. This is Riz.
Yes.
Trance Channel, psychic medium, shaman.
This is Oriah, intuitive empath, and my wife.
That's right. And I'm here to welcome all animals and birds and people and Ericas and Ericas of the world and Virgos of the world. So Erica is our assistant extraordinaire.
Moderating the chat.
She's monitoring the chat. Mm-hmm. And yes. And we have a couple other announcements before we begin rocking and rolling.
On a Psychic Tuesday. It's like Taco
I have
Tuesdays.
some big news for me. It was like giving birth. It was slightly like giving birth. So I've been wanting to get this book out for years, and I finally did it.
Baby. High five. You really did it. Here it is. Check that out. This is like the prototype copy.
I'm going to go up and close and personal.
Yeah.
This is the prototype copy.
This is what it's going to look like exactly.
Finding Merlin. You're not a mic.
Yeah. You can say it. This is exactly what it's going to look like.
This is exactly what it's going to look like. So this is the prototype you're showing, right?
I don't know what that means, but
yes.
Okay.
It means like the first initial stage of the book. And yeah, you're turning the pages for them. It's like reading Rainbow. Cool. So this is the adventures of how you discovered the spirit guide Merlin.
So this was my spiritual quest. This was my spiritual quest.
Right.
And it's a fantasy novel set in Merlin's forest. It's a spiritual sojourn, and it's my story of how I discovered my magic within and what it took for me to go through the trials and tribulations of life. It's all set in fantasy realm with characters and creatures that I believe in and love and experience through my shamanic journeys
Yep.
and everything I've been through and my imagination and my belief system. It's all set to illustration, highly illustrated, over 300 illustrations. The
Over
book,
300?
Yes.
The book is like 400.
Yeah, the book is like 400.
That's
It's almost in every other
chock
page.
full.
It's chock full. So there's a paperback edition, and then there's the collector's book. And so there's a link in the description. If anyone's interested, you can pre-order now. And I am
Tell them when it's
beyond
dropping, 'cause
excited.
It's dropping on Halloween, guys.
Yes. So that's the goal. And if it might be a little bit before that, but it could be right around that time.
Yeah, we should coordinate my Oracle deck dropping for Halloween with your
Yeah.
Finding Merlin.
Yeah, we should.
Look at us, all like figuring out how to
Figuring out how to do
put our
stuff.
stuff out there.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Hi. So let's talk about today. Do we
Yes.
have any first timers?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, ask
We
them.
do.
A couple.
All right.
Say it was their first time.
All right. Welcome.
Okay, so there's one more fun thing we want to tell you guys about, and it wasn't just fun, it was super impactful and super transformational.
What's that?
We had a Virginia shamanic experience.
Oh,
That's
yes.
what kicked off our East Coast trip. It was amazing. Riz and I led it, and we have another one coming up in October 12th and 13th. If you want to join us, if you go to the community tab, you will see pictures of what we experienced. It was incredible. You want to talk about it a little bit more?
We do, as practicing shamans for close to 20 years now, guys, and some of you out there who are watching have worked with me or Oriah personally. What we are doing now is offering it in your city. So we spend so much of our life on the road doing our work. So we thought, why not add more stuff to our plate? Right?
Bum-ba-dum.
Bum-ba-dum. So we added more. So we're coming to where you are and leading a shamanic weekend. Really, it doesn't have to be a weekend. It could be 2 days in a
Right.
row. It could be a Monday and a Tuesday, but we say weekends, where the first night is a circle of light channeling. So in your home or your space or your office, you gather your tribe, and I will channel the spirit guides, Red Eagle, Phineas. They come and give messages to everyone. The next day, part 2, is the main event, which is the shamanic sacred journey experience, which is tremendously transformative. And there's not enough good things and powerful things that I can say about it. But if you know what I'm talking about, you can reach out to us and learn more, actually.
Yeah.
So just let us know that you're interested in that and just put it in the chats. And I wanted to drop that we're going to be back there. When was it?
October 12th and 13th.
So that's on the East Coast, guys. But we do have some space for something in the Phoenix area, which is going to be in mid-November. So there's a couple of spots open for that group. If you are in the Arizona, Phoenix area and want to drive over to our experience, we have a couple of spots. So let us know about that as well.
And somebody had purchased an actual private shamanic weekend retreat for their group in Texas, which is fantastic. So that is also an opportunity if you're interested in having a private shamanic experience with just you, your friends, and family members. You can contact Erica and we will.
So that's if you're in
give
the
you the
Texas area.
No, that's for any part of the U.S. and Canada.
Okay.
But I just gave an example.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Well, hi. Let's ring the bells.
Clear the air, everybody.
Clear the air, everyone, because it's
We're
about
getting ready
it's
to
about
take
to
off.
go down. It's about to rise up. It's about to come out of so many portals and dimensions that I feel like I'm already there.
Are you?
I think so. I'm getting there.
Well, let us tell the newbies what we do here.
Okay, so tonight is usually held on a Sunday. It's called Psychic Sundays. It's 2 hours of just a rip-roaring good time in the psychic realm. We like to have fun. I think the people who know me for all these years have known that I kind of have been, I've been hearing this a lot lately. The people have been saying to me, Riz, you've always been the disruptor of what they think psychic work is supposed to be. It's supposed to look a certain way or dress a certain way or act a certain way. For me, it's just my style is truth. It's just the way that I am. I come and I'm myself, and you're yourself. And we talk about things in a different way. We talk about everything being for you and breaking it down. The messages that I get, let's talk about that. So it's free readings, everyone. The readings are free. If you do feel like donating, you certainly can. We're not going to say no, but it's really, this is our way of sharing what we do and what we love to do and what our evenings have been like in our house for the last 15 to 20 years, which has been people sitting together and getting messages from me and from O. So O is an intuitive empath. So the questions that are usually directed towards you have a lot to do with the inner workings of our emotions. You want to elaborate on that?
Yes.
Then I'll talk about what I give messages on.
Yes,
Okay.
of course. So an empath, an intuitive empath, or an empath without the intuition, so you can have two separate kind of modalities, is something that you're born with. Although I do believe that everybody has psychic abilities to whatever degree, you can still tap in and figure out where your gifts are and how you can, become more psychic. And that's something we help people with all the time. But as far as being an empath goes, it just basically means you are sensitive, hypersensitive to people's emotional states. If you're very in tune with your empathic abilities, you can tap into kind of like their I always forget this word. It's their deepest intention. That's what I want to say. Deepest intention. So you can feel where people are coming from. And what happens is, if you're an empath and you're a child, especially when you're growing up, you're feeling people's emotions and their intentions and their beliefs, like where they're coming from, like their core. You could feel if they're scared, if they're happy. So you could feel all their layers of emotions. And the thing about that is it becomes very overwhelming. If you're growing up with this, you don't know what is yours, you don't know what is theirs, and then you just become an extremely emotional being, and then your life can take, pretty dark turns. So I went that path and came full circle to share with everybody how I survived. Part of it's in my book. The rest of it is here, where I come to help you to walk yourself through some entanglements that you could have where you're confused or frustrated about how you process what you're feeling in the room, with people, at work, with yourself. And I help you untangle it so you can actually see what you're looking at. And that's the best way I could say how I can help you as an empath. So if you have any questions regarding that, it also includes your spiritual path and how you're processing your spiritual awakening.
You guys ever see the X-Men? That's what Jean Grey's ability was. She was an empath.
Yeah, she was an empath. And those
And Professor
scenes,
X was a channeler, basically.
You're absolutely correct.
I do
And
think so.
that scene where she lifts off and she was so angry and she puts her hands out. I cried hysterically when that scene. She puts her hands out. I forget which one it
I think
was. Was it the
third
last one?
The third one.
So she's in the living room.
Yeah.
She's taken possession over the whole house.
Yes.
She's so angry nobody can actually get to her.
And
they're
Professor
like,
X is on the ground. He's
they're
like,
crawling.
Jean, let it out.
with the gravity
incredible
force.
scene.
It's one of the most incredible scenes I've ever seen.
all a psychic
As a matter of fact,
power
I need to
scene.
watch this again. So that scene, when it showed up, I cried
We should watch
instantly.
it tonight.
I know.
Yeah.
I cried instantly. I recognized myself in her 100%. I have actually done that many times in my homes over the years growing up, because of my frustration, being a Taurus, frustrated that I don't know how to process all these big feelings and emotions.
Right.
My gifts, I didn't know how to separate them out. So when I met Riz, for a lot of you who've been following us a while know, when I met Riz, although I had been doing a lot of work on myself prior for almost a decade and doing a lot of deep transformational work, and I was already a coach when I met him. But when I met him, it was the first time he was able, not only with his own channeling and his own, teachings and coaching, but it was also with the shamanic journeys, which was incredible, because that's where a lot of things happen too. But he helped me to separate things out and slow things down, so I stopped being Jean Grey all the time. So he helped me to see why things are happening and how this happens and why and how to affect people differently. And that has been a huge catalyst, and I've just taken that ball and I've ran with it. And so
Yep. And you've made the touchdown, and you spiked the ball and did the dance. And here you
damn, that sounded good.
are. Serious.
I like that.
Let's talk about it. So I'm a psychic medium, and I think you all know what that means. Please tell me, because I'm still figuring it out. I think, and I'm not really, I'm kind of joking, but I'm not. And the reason is that some of you who've been watching, you also have been feeling psychic senses in you since you were a kid. Look, psychic senses is something, it's our sixth sense. Everyone was born with it. Now, it means that everyone has experienced some sort of intuitive experience where they were right about something, or they knew someone was going to call, or they knew that something was going to happen, and it happened. Now, not everyone is born to be a professional psychic, just like everyone can carry a tune or try to sing, right? But some are going to become professional singers. You can always take lessons to become a better singer, or a better chef, or a better whatever, but not everyone is going to be a professional. And that's just because I do believe that these are natural gifts that some can develop to a heightened degree, and some aren't meant to do that. So I'm just humbly thanking you for being here, and whatever I can offer to you and that you can find benefit from what I'm saying or what I'm offering to you. Sometimes you get, and this is interesting, sometimes you get a benefit from listening to somebody else's message. It helps you like process that insight into your own life and to something you're working through. So now I'll break it down. When it comes to mediumship, and Erica's probably putting this in the chat about what the process is. Mediumship is I connect to loved ones on the other side. We only need your real first name, not like your handle, and the person's first name, and when they passed over. That's all we need. And if I get something, I'll say it. I can't get to everyone. How could I possibly get to everyone in the chat? We tend to just go with the flow. All three of us have been working together for so many years that we have a flow and a psychic connection between the three of us. And so they know which people I'm going to be drawn to. It really works that way. So they just read the questions. We're not picking anyone. We don't pick favorites or anything like that. It literally is what we're guided to do, because this is our life. This is what we do. So if we don't get to you today, we'll get to you next time. It'll always be your time when it's your time. So trust in that. Now, that being said, spirit shoutouts are something that I do, which is I receive messages from my guides just spontaneously throughout the night. So I may say, okay, I have 3 shoutouts. One is, and I might say a person's name, or I might say something I say things that are very specific. Okay, that will be for somebody who's watching now, and then you'll type in, hey, that's me, I'm the person with the green sneakers, or whatever it may be. I don't know what just yet. So I'll do that, and that's a spirit shout out. If you know that it's you, from what I'm saying, type it into the chat box, and Erica will get to you, and then I'll give you the message. Okay, and that being said, anything you want to say? I see a lot of hearts and stuff going on the chat.
Yeah,
Look, my dinosaur, he's happy.
Everybody is starting to drop their questions right now.
All right.
Also, Riz is an animal communicator, for those of you who do not know.
Yes, I'm communicating to this chocolate bunny right now.
That's right.
And I'm communicating that I'm going to eat it later.
I just want to say for the record that what I'm really profoundly just amazed at right now is that literally this cat has been hiding for 3 days because it's been 110 degrees.
Yeah.
And I have not seen her. And the second we start our podcast, which we have not been on for weeks, she saunters up, walks to Riz, meows. So she wants to actually be a part of it.
Well, she was in hair and makeup all this time.
She's so
Just
cute.
casually strolls onto the
Mumi's
set.
Actually 12, 13.
Okay, I want to start. Actually, I'm gonna
ready?
let her go. No, listen to the little crankety meow. Here we go. Go. No, she didn't do the crankety meow.
Oh no, she's
goes
gonna
right
come to
to
me.
you. No.
I already have a run in my stockings, and that's
she's
it.
gonna make it worse.
She's gonna make it worse.
Okay, I got some spirit shout outs. Let's jump right into it and let's go. Ding, ding, ding.
Here she comes.
Okay, so I often can even smell things. So there's someone here on the other side. He's a gentleman, and I smell turpentine, which means he painted houses, or turpentine's for when you strip paint, right?
Yes.
Okay, so he either was in contracting, or he was in, this is what he did, or he literally painted the whole house. So this has got to be somebody's dad. So that's number one. Let me know about that. And he's coming through with the smell of turpentine of all things.
Oh,
that's
my God.
How I know. Okay. Number 2.
No nails.
Number 2 is the name Christian. Now, I don't know if this is the name of the person who's crossed over or the person that he or she is related to here right now. So that's number 2. And number 4 is the date of November 29th. November 29th. So that could be the birthday or the passing anniversary. That, and I don't mean the 28th or the 30th. I only mean the 29th of November. Okay. If that's related to you, let us know. All right, where should we go?
All right, so let us begin.
All right.
We have Rachel D in the house.
Rachel D.
Hello, Rachel. Hi, Riz, Lady O, and Erica. I would love a message from my guides. Anything I need to hear to help me at this time, please. I love this time we spent together.
I got you right off the bat, Rachel. So what I want to tell you is you have a composer spirit guide working with you, and I believe, and I get a lot of composers. I don't know why. I don't know how to play classical music. I mean, I am a musician. Side note, I have found with channelers that they kind of have a type of guides that come to them. I tend to get a mixed bag, but I get a lot of artists.
Yeah,
from the
you
other
do.
side. So if I were to pick a name of who this is, I think it's Handel. Is that a name of a composer? Is what I'm getting
Yes.
is Handel. Anyway, Rachel is working with you, and everything is about writing, journaling. Okay, getting these thoughts and these downloads out, and you have to spend the time away from the noise. So it's like putting the windows down, drawing the curtains, closing the closet door, closing the bedroom door, making the bed, lighting the candle, and creating the mood, and allowing yourself just quiet time and I turn the phone off, of course, and give yourself space to receive and to listen deeper, because I do think that this past year has been one of, I want to call it, the term I'm going to use is climate change. I'm not talking about anything political. I'm talking about the change in climate internally for you has been the need to get into quieter spaces, so to go into your cave. And I don't mean just spending time alone. I'm not talking, even though I'm describing something physical, Rachel, I'm not simply talking about separating yourself physically. That's one aspect. What I'm talking about is quieting the noise down so that you can receive these things. And by the way, what I see coming through you is poetry, prose, stories, and a lot of almost like dancer energy. What do I mean by that? I mean by the spirits around you have this dancing kind of quality, and I hear all this classical music, and it's almost like see ballerinas turning around you, which usually is a symbol for me that it's time for you to, it'll soon be time for you to come out more. But right now, you're in the lab, so to speak. That's your message. Yes.
So we have two dads on the other side who are painters.
Two painters, house painters.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't have names for both of them. One is Norman.
Uh-huh.
With Alicia R.
Uh-huh. And the other?
The other is Bernadette's dad. I don't have a name yet.
It's the Norman.
Norman.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what's her name?
Alicia.
Norman. Alicia's dad is Norman?
Yes.
And when did he pass?
I don't have a name.
Okay, Alicia, tell me when he passed. It's sort of like coordinates when I connect mentally to them, psychically to them. Let's go.
All right. Second one. My name is Alicia. I have been seeing stars moving across the sky and was told it is the Pleiadians showing themselves to me. Is there a message there?
I've seen stars. You mean lights moving across the sky?
You want me to take that? Or you want to take that?
Sure, but let me just say the first thing is that what's happening to the planet, as you can see, now we're at the level of congressional hearings and Senate hearings on the UFO disclosure, right? Top level people coming out and saying, look, this is the truth. Not only do we see them, but we have the craft. This is on TV, guys. This isn't a movie. This is what's been happening the last 3-4 years. So those of us who have known this to be true, because we've had our own experiences over the years, we're going, finally. No, that's a whole nother discussion. But what I want to say to you is that Oriah is definitely Pleiadian lineage herself, because you don't have just past lives on this planet, my friends. You have past lives on physical planets. You also have lives happening in other dimensions. Again, another topic. I think I'm going to cover that in Psychic Lab. Okay. As far as confirmation, the confirmation I'm getting is yes. So take it away.
I just want to take a moment. We had a friend whose sister suddenly passed away a couple days ago, and it just happened. Actually, I think it was yesterday, and it happened suddenly.
ago, yeah.
Young mother with 4 kids, and I'm an only child, so I don't know the feeling, but I can only imagine because I raised 5 kids, and I've watched their relationship. And, you know, what we do is we help people all the time through death, grieving, mourning, crossing over, talking, giving messages. And that's what we do. And this one was really close to us because we're close to the person it happened to. And it was like being an empath, it immediately ricocheted, and I like immediately felt, and I felt a lot. So if you're a healer out there and you're on the chat right now and you are watching people chat, you know, put in their questions, and there's some loss, there's some people who have crossed over, they've lost loved ones, send them your healing energy. Just a reminder, because it does a lot to help people this way. So I have, you know, it was just instantaneous, just sending constant support and energy to the family that was left behind here, and sending everybody well wishes that this was a conscious, you know, passing. All crossings are conscious. All crossings happen to people who choose to cross at that time. So you have to support the situation and support the family. So make sure you guys do that when you're on the chat. Instead of just watching, be a part of the experience and help people to feel better and supported, so we can continue doing what we do. Thank you. And that was my PSA.
All right. Let's go to the next person. I have a spirit shout out.
Yeah, Alicia.
Alicia.
The dad, Norman, passed in 2017.
Thank you, Alicia. I wanted to say that your dad was coming through, and I just saw the whole can of paints, and I smelled the turpentine. And I just want to say that the role that he's playing for you is, because it represents painting the houses and all of that, he's saying to me that he's still going to be the groundskeeper, not the guardian per se, because I come from a different philosophy that we experience life as we are supposed to experience it, as we are creating it, so that we can go to the next level of life. So you don't need protection. You're always protected. You are always also connected to experiences that you're supposed to have. That being said, he's kind of like the friendly groundskeeper that is going to make sure that he is able to remind you of what needs to be done in the house, what needs to be fixed, what needs to be tweaked, or what needs to be polished, so to speak. So he's there for that, and talk to him about that, and to develop that conversational relationship with him. He loves that conversational relationship, is what I keep getting here. And there's a dog with him, by the way. I don't know whose dog this is, but there's a dog with him. So yeah, he's with you, and he wanted you to know. Awesome. Yes.
Is that your way of saying next?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Julie Knox. I'd love to know who my guides are, if any of them have a message for me.
Sure, Julie. Let me tune in. You have a tribal guide with you. It was a very fast runner. I'm just getting the name. If I can get a translation, please. The way that I would translate this, I have many Native American guides, as you know, that work with me, Red Eagle being one of them. The way I would translate this is, Julie, is silent wind. Silent wind. So imagine feeling a breeze, but you don't hear it. And and now why I'm pausing is I'm having a little conversation that happened psychically of what are you working on with Julie? Okay, so it's like you have this concern that not enough gets done, and maybe you might tend to rush through things and then maybe not actually get it all done, or it doesn't get done to the level that you would like to get it done at. So he is there to help you with that, how to flow where everything lands gently. Now that wind is actually more of a breeze, but it's not weak and it is not forceful. It is flow. And so he's helping you to flow, and that's one to call on. The other one I'm getting, I would call her Silver Bird. Silver Bird. Silver Gale, she just corrected me. So I guess like a nightingale. So imagine like a nightingale bird. But like beautiful silver, like sterling silver. Very ethereal, like with crystal eyes. She's your spirit animal energy with you. Her purpose for you, this has to do with healing family wounds. Your voice will be needed for this. Does the nightingale the one that sings?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that makes sense. And your guides will place the right words when it's your time to be the peacemaker in your family. Okay. Next. What,
you know,
what do you got?
speaking
You got a
of
shout out going on over there?
animals, I just wanted to tell you about Mumi. So Mumi was, people are talking about that they feel that their animals were reincarnated again and again to come into their life and help them. What's interesting is I have pictures when I was 15 years old with this same exact cat, with this same exact face and the same exact disposition. And I happened to be during the Whittier earthquake, which was like 8.0 practically. And she was there for that time period. And when this cat came into our life, her personality was so much the same and had the same
You never told me
energy
about
and
that cat.
disposition.
What was that cat's name?
I can't remember, but it was the same cat. And I have asked her many times. Don't encourage the nails.
Oh, sorry.
In the I have been pulling her nails out of my stockings this whole time.
Okay. What were you saying, E?
Alicia said thank you so much. She's getting a new roof, and also her dad has her dog because her dog passed away a couple months ago.
Oh my God! Do you guys hear that? I love hearing these confirmations because they show us the power of mediumship and the magic of the love of mediumship. So if you guys didn't hear that, Alicia, whose dad was coming through smelling like paint and turpentine, and I was giving her the message about the house. She just said that she's getting a new roof. And what was the other thing? And the dog? I said there's a dog with it. So her dog just passed away a few months
Wow.
ago. Dad's got the dog. Awesome. Love it, guys. I do have another spirit shout out. This is very specific. So I see this, I don't know if this is like a dish towel or this is a towel that hangs in the kitchen, but it's got all these different fruits on it, like fruit slices, things. It's just fabric. This belongs to someone, and this should definitely connect to you. And I feel this is a woman telling me about this on the other side. Okay. Next question.
Okay, so hi, I am Gail Brown. I have a question.
Hi,
Wanting
Gail.
to know if I'm on the right path with my new project of children's education shows, or should I be doing something else?
You know, it's a bit, I feel this is a bit of, you're going to have to muscle your way through some of this. But it's worthwhile, not just because it's for children's education. When I give a reading, I don't give my opinion about something. This is not my opinion. I don't give business advice. I'm only telling you about whether I think something is going to work or not. So for you, work for you, because many things can be successful that we create, but we don't ever feel happy from those things. It happens to people all the time. So I'm looking into seeing if this is, yes, of course it's the right path, but I think that you also sense that it's leading you somewhere else. I would agree with that. And yet it is still having to do with younger people. So work this through. See this through, follow through with this. Good. But I do see it more of a shelf life of about 2 to 3 years where I see something else coming in, or actually you coming out more. Sort of like, just to let you know, the way my guides are showing it to me, they're showing me a river opening up into an ocean.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
All right. So we're moving on to Jennifer from Washington. I'm curious to know what my guides want me to know during this time in my life.
Hi, Jennifer from Washington. Well, this is the time of, I want to say, training, education, expansion, learning the actual kind of more intellectual pursuits. Now, is this an intellectual pursuits? Watching this podcast talking about metaphysics? Of course it is, because we go deep into the mechanics of reality creation. That's what we're talking about here in other dimensions. So what I'm talking about, one that expand your intellect. This is the time for that. You don't have, I don't think you have patience for, sitting around and lazy thinking or I don't want to say lazy, but let's just say super chill, relaxed thinking. They keep showing me the wheels are turning, that you need that constant intellectual stimulation. Some people need physical stimulation all the time. Some people need spiritual stimulation all the time. This is intellectual for you because you're going to gain some kind of new skill, is what they're showing me. This is coming through. Also, I want to say here, just side note, make sure everything in your house, where all the wires and things connected to the outlets and plugs. One good feng shui type of message I'm getting for you is unplug everything, clean all those things, and straighten out all the wires, and do anything like that. Go under this kitchen sink and straighten that out as well. Anything that needs to be organized in this way. You need to get the energy clearer and cleaner and more pristine in where you're living or working too. And for some reason, this name Annette or Annie is connected. I'd love to know if you know who that person is.
Do you know, people don't realize that when they are wanting to manifest or create something like bringing in energy into a place, they don't realize how important it is to organize and clean the space. And when we do it, we think of it like this is our temple, and our podcast is like no different than a temple, because we're bringing in the guides. We're doing a sacred event. Basically, this is a sacred space, a sacred moment, sacred everything. So before the podcast, I take a few hours and just make sure everything is totally just clean and organized, more than it already is, but just to make sure that my energy touches everything, that my consciousness touches everything, that everything is organized. And I love what you said about under the sink, because it's in the drawers, in the cabinets, in the closets, under the sink. And I have some places I have on my list I need to get to, but these are actually really important, you guys. You think that because it's behind closed doors or in the dark, it doesn't matter, but it holds a vibration, and it represents your subconscious mind, and it represents you not wanting to look at things in your life, where you live, what your car looks like, what's inside your car, how you operate. Your environment is exactly a reflection of what is going on inside of your mind and in your subconscious mind. So it's extremely important. So when Riz drops these kinds of little phrases, words of wisdom, do not take it lightly. That's why I'm taking this moment.
I call it dropping Skittles.
I'm taking this moment because I want to actually make sure you guys actually feel what I'm saying.
Yes. Because
this is so important. People think house cleaning, organizing is kind of like just domestic care. You guys don't understand. If you go to, like, we travel around the world, and we've been in so many temples, and when you go into a temple setting, you'll see that every single thing has a purpose and a place, and every single thing has a meaning, and we appreciate that as temple goers or people who walk into sacred spaces.
But it's not like they're fanatics about it.
No.
And we're not talking about when, like, my mom put plastic slipcovers in the 80s on, and don't ever eat in there. It wasn't really about that.
Do you remember
what this is about is, like, you are, for example, first of all, you have house spirits. Yes, you have all sorts of guides that work in your life. You have spirit guides that work with you on finances. You have them who work on your health, and you have spirit guides who are assigned to hang out in your house and help you with that, because that is the extension of really your body, is your home. Right. Your home is kind of, it reflects your mental state of what's going on.
So what did you feel the first time, let's say recently, that you did a big gutting out of your closet and your shoes and stuff? What does that feel like for you?
It feels like I'm letting go of versions of myself, whether it's I'm throwing away old pairs of sneakers, or I look at this jacket and I'm like, I like this jacket. I haven't worn it in 2 years. I'm probably never going to wear it.
Right.
And why haven't I worn it? It doesn't reflect me anymore.
So what's your criteria that other people can gain
Okay, so I would go through
do?
my house, and I have a mantra, guys, and I would invite you to do this. So if you want to clear the energy in your house, you don't know what you want to throw away or keep, go around to each thing and pick it up and say, if it is not very beautiful or very useful, it goes.
Now talk to them about what happens when something's broken.
Okay.
That's important.
Now, I consider little things like when people burn candles and they leave them burned down all the way. Spiritually, energetically, this is not good. When you burn a candle all the way down, throw it away. Don't leave those little gross waxy stubs laying around your house, okay? Number two, when you see something that is broken, or a picture, you walk by and the picture is tilted, fix it. Everything is energy.
It's a representation.
It's a representation, and
it moves energy.
Listen, symmetry is everything in this world, in the physical world. Symmetry meaning this house cannot stand unless the mathematics are correct.
Like, for instance, if you were to get into a UFO or a really futuristic moving vehicle, like an airship, and you're out there in space.
And I have.
And you're flying through space, and
Yes.
it's cluttered and messy. Like right now, our space station is messy because they can't get rid of any of the debris. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah. So if you look at pictures.
You keep up to what's going on in the space stations?
Well, I'm keeping up with technology, AI, and space
Station,
engineering
household,
and things like that.
Cleanliness.
Because anything to do with, like, this is your habitat. This is our, this is our environment. What can I say? I can go on and on and on about this. And it's not just cleaning house. This is keeping yourself organized mentally. Get rid of your clutter and get rid of hidden spots that you don't want to look at because it represents areas in your life that you don't want to deal with or face in yourself.
All right. Any confirmations of spirit shout-outs? We do.
Yes.
I think you need a bell now. Because I have to read your face from across the room where something happens with your left eyebrow that kind of raises, and then I go, oh, I think she has a spirit shout-out.
Put a light on your face.
Well, I wanted to wait for the moment, to like dive in. Connie, her grandmother Ethel passed in 1995. And she has many of her aprons which hang in the kitchen and have sliced fruit.
Oh, there you go. So finally you got the sliced fruit fabric hanging in the kitchen. And Connie's grandmother?
Ethel.
Hey, Connie, of course her grandma's name is Ethel. I actually thought that doesn't exist anymore, but there are people whose grandmother's name Ethel, Edna, and so on. Hey, Connie. Grandma's saying hi. She loves the fact that you have this hanging in your kitchen. I said it was a female who was describing this to me, and just a lot of love and joy and happy summer. She's saying, remember sparklers. Did you ever hold sparklers in your hand? I don't know why she's talking about that. Maybe July 4th. Okay. Have fun, Connie. Grandma's watching. All right, next one.
Okay. I would like to connect to my two dogs, Mung and Panini.
Mung, like mung bean?
Yeah.
And Panini?
Yes. Thank you, Riz and Erica. And, my name is Jackie or Jacqueline.
Mung and Panini.
Are on the other side.
Of course.
Yeah, just wanted to.
Oh, okay. It's good to know that two dogs are on the other side.
Connie says she does have sparklers.
Connie has sparklers? Well, Grandma was talking about the sparklers. Mung and Panini. I posted a great meme on Instagram about, speaking of cats and food, and it said taco cat spelled backwards is taco cat.
Okay.
Your moment of zen. Taco cat
Symmetry.
spelled backwards is taco cat.
Oh, that is kind of crazy.
There are people right now who are doing this math in their heads right now. Is what Riz is saying true or not? It is. Because I'm a Virgo rising and I make sure my spelling is on point. That plus being Indian, all the Indian kids will win the spelling bees. And what else? There's questions.
The message from the animals.
Oh, for the animals, for Mung Bean and Panini. I'm going to say Mung Bean.
And what show are we on? And what are we doing?
When did the dogs
What's
pass
happening?
over? When did the dogs pass over?
Oh, really? I don't know.
Why are we not following the rules? We must follow rules.
Sorry, I forgot.
All right, so I have to go to the next person. Go ahead, next person.
Okay. Patricia Thomas.
Patty Thomas.
Can I get a message? What the hell is going on with me and my relationship to money? I feel like the more I release myself to receive it, the more blocks I'm running into. Thanks.
Well, that's an interesting way of putting it, Patricia. The more I release it, that is a whole nother conversation. What is your process of releasing? And then you're saying the more blocks I have with it. I'll get into the psychic reading in just a second, but I cannot leave this part alone, which is money being this very confusing, triggering, activating, exciting, demoralizing. Wait, name every opposite right? And money can, I mean, love too, right? It seems like those are the big questions.
Yeah,
love,
you can attribute
love
anything.
and money, right? on this
Yeah, it
planet.
moves energy for sure.
So this is a big spiritual question and path that we are on this planet when it comes to money. So studying the energy of that, studying what it really means to release old belief systems about money, things that our parents taught us or we just picked up from wherever, that takes many, many years for people. Now, I've also noticed that there have been people whose soul path it was to get money very, very easily early in life.
Isn't
and
that
they say,
fun to watch?
How come? I say, look, if you're going to ask a spiritual question, ready for a spiritual answer. Those people had lifetimes where they went and worked out that karmic connection to money, where this lifetime was not about worrying about money. It would be about their focus spiritually would be about something else. Okay, and some people say, well, why can't I have that? I go, you don't, because that's not your path now. This lifetime, it's part of your curriculum. For some people, it's not part of the curriculum. And maybe you wouldn't want some of those other subjects in the curriculum like they've got to go through, even though they've got money. So number one, let me just go straight to the message for Patricia. What is going on? I've already talked about we're going to work on those belief systems. There's plenty of ways you can learn about that. So many videos on YouTube about kind of the unlocking those areas. But I do want to see a timeline of when I see this going at the rate you're going, psychically, what I see when this opens up. Actually, it's not too bad. It's more towards the very beginning of next year where I see more out of the woods. So I want to just give you the psychic answer first and second and whatever. You know what I'm saying. I want to give you the spiritual answer and I'm going to give you the psychic answer. Psychic answer is beginning of the year. I do see an improvement. I don't see a vast improvement. I do see this is a path that is closer to about 3 more years. That's the cycle I see psychically. Please happily prove me wrong and rock it and get what you like. But I'm seeing, remember something, psychically when someone asks me, I go into the energy of how I see something is happening. For example, if I was a master chef and you said, Riz, how long is it going to take for this cake to bake? I would open the oven. I would also look at what ingredients you put in. I'd look at the temperature. I would look at how it was prepared. Then I could tell you. That's kind of what happens to me psychically when you guys ask me, when is something going to happen? Just so you know the process behind it. I like to explain the process that's happening inside of me as I give you the message. Okay. I also want to say one more name. This is a name, this is one of the older names. I want to say either Barnaby or Barnabas. Now, this doesn't have to be a person's name, but my guide is saying this name is connected to someone who's watching right now. Barnaby could be the name of something, like, I don't know, it could be the name of a book, or it could be the name of the house. I almost feel like it's the name of something rather than the name of a person.
Okay.
But this thing is connected to you guys. It might be the street.
Okay.
But it's coming through. So please let me know if that's connected to you. Yes, Erica.
I have the dogs.
The dogs.
So Panini passed September of 2023, and Mung passed in April of 2022.
It's so hard to lose. I can't even imagine losing. I mean, we've lost pets, but each time I think about losing when I go, I can't even think about that day. All right. I'm going more towards Mung than I am right now towards Panini. I feel more behind in energy. This, just to let you know, I see Mung's, I'm going to imitate the body position. It's like paws are like out like this, almost like at an angle going out instead of straight, and that's the body position. And I want to talk about where you're living now, and I would say when you're in your bedroom, I want to talk about the far right corner. So let's say you're sitting or laying in your bed, the far right corner. There's some area over there where Mung's energy is passing through. There's actually a lot of spirit energy in that bedroom, by the way. Almost like you have it's like a little portal going on there. Is that where you meditate, maybe? I don't know. Okay. Number 2, Panini is the one that kind of travels outside of the house with you spiritually. Now, mind you, they're not with you all the time. They have If they were supposed to be with you all the time, they'd still be in their bodies. But with Panini's passing, was there some sort of, was there a lot of pain in this, or was there a lot of suffering for a bit of time? Because the message I'm getting about Panini is for you to know that that suffering was not as bad as you may have imagined it to be, because Spirit was just making it easier for Panini, and Panini was almost like half on the other side anyway. Is the way I'm going to describe it to you. Okay.
She says Mung lays right where you described.
Mung lays, okay. Mung used to lay right there? Yeah. Okay. Next question.
Okay. So, next question. Ali. Hi, Erica, Lady O, and Riz. So happy I made the live. Wondering if Riz can tell me who my gatekeeper is and any messages I need to hear. Please and thank you.
Right. Ali's the name? Mm-hmm. Like A-L-I?
Yes.
Gatekeeper for Ali. Yes, you do. You're... Thank you. Okay. This is interesting because when you ask about a gatekeeper, the gatekeepers do sometimes, and I don't know if you know this, maybe you do, you probably know this, is that you don't always have the same gatekeeper. Sometimes a gatekeeper comes in.
I didn't actually know that.
I had a different gatekeeper before Red Eagle.
That's right. I remember you told me, and I never realized that that's possible.
Name? I'll give you $6.32 if you tell me what my gatekeeper's name was before Red Eagle.
Rosebud.
Oh, I owe her $6.32.
Oh.
Put it on my tab. Okay.
His eternal tab.
I'll Venmo it to you.
Let me tell you, I'm cashing in.
I'll Venmo it to you. Okay. So I feel that you actually had a recent change in gatekeepers, and I'm curious what was happening back in October and November, because there was some change where it was like one gatekeeper tagged in another one, October, November of 23. Okay. Helping, guiding you through loss, understanding loss, and really giving yourself time to heal. I keep getting loss and healing and loss and healing, loss and healing, loss and healing. Okay, thank you. You have a feminine energy gatekeeper working with you. Her name is Alma, A-L-M-A. A-L-M-A. Okay. Interesting. Your name is A-L also. Okay.
Okay. My name is Sharon Lotman. My parents both died in the last year and a half, Larry and Clara. I'm struggling with some issues and wondering if there are any messages.
Well, sorry to hear that, Sharon, of course. I know what it's like. Larry and Clara. Your mom watches you almost like this is in the middle of the day. It's almost like that 2-3 p.m. time period in the day. That's when she's closest to you. You have to take the time. Sharon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sharon, you have to take the time to slow down in the middle of the day, because I know you want to feel them. I actually feel for you, the middle of the day is best. Right around 2 to 3 p.m. Curious, was there a favorite tree that your mom had? Because she keeps showing me a tree. And was this like outside her house, or was this here? Also, who took care of your dad is thanking who took care of him before he passed. Was he like in, I mean, I don't want to say hospice. Maybe it is hospice, but he needed help before he crossed. Also, they're putting a big heart around the month of November. I don't know whose birthday or anniversary that is, but it's a lot of love around there. They're also sending you a lot of love for the circulation in your body. The circulation in your body. So it is about keeping that, make sure that you're walking, Sharon, and taking these walks, maybe even in the middle of the day. That's what she's trying to tell me, is take that midday walk if you can, and release that tension and that energy so you can feel her. Also, just on the side, did someone have like swollen or a lot of inflammation, swollen ankles, or an issue like that? If it was one of these people. Also, I also feel a lot of congestion in the chest. Does someone have a lung or heart congestion where fluids built up in here? There's another gentleman, and I think the name is Charles, around your dad. He's tapping me on the shoulder.
She's answering a few things, but it's a little behind.
She's answering a few things?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
She said my roughest time of day. So whatever.
That's the
You have to
roughest
say
time
it
of day.
louder.
That midday is the roughest time of day, right? That's when they want you to take the walk. Gotcha.
She also wrote grapefruit. I'm not sure what that refers to.
The grapefruit tree?
Grapefruit
Got it,
tree.
yeah.
She took care of
She
Dad.
took care of Dad. Okay, thank you.
His birthday is in November.
Yeah.
And she said, I keep falling.
Keep going.
She keeps falling.
And Mom was 78 pounds but had swelling. I keep having a wetness in my chest.
Yes.
Not
Got
sure about Charles.
The wetness in the chest is that fluid I was saying here. So they are watching you, and you have to move your body. You have to take those walks, Sharon. And of course,
She should probably seek medical attention.
absolutely seek medical attention. Take care of this. It's not your time, Sharon. And grief even exacerbates here, by
Yeah.
the way. We hold grief in our lungs.
Absolutely.
So you are going through the milestone that all of us have to go through, losing our parents, right, Sharon? Where you're not 15. You are a thinking, feeling, vibrant soul. And this is the period of your life where you're going into this chapter of who are you? What is it? What is this life about? These questions are going to come up, and grief is part of that. I want to say that hollowing out so that we can experience more. And you're not done yet. And your physical body, you have to honor it. It's the physical body that your parents gave you. Source, and your parents all together helped you create this physical body. Honor that, and know that you can still grieve, you can still miss them, you can still be in emotional pain, but it is, there's no compromising here. You have to take care of your physical self. Okay, all right.
I want to take this moment.
Thank you for the confirmations. I'm glad to hear those confirmations. Stay strong and peaceful. Yes.
I want to take this moment to tell you that I really, really love what you're wearing. And I want to compliment you on that.
Oh.
Let me see your glasses.
You're going to clean my glasses?
I have to, because I like things that are clean. Okay, so I just want to say that amber that's being hidden by the microphone is
Hold up.
amazing.
This amber?
This is your brand new
How about
amber you
that?
just got.
So I love amber.
You got it at Ice Imports?
There's a great store in Mystic, Connecticut called Ice Imports. It's an old Mystic village.
I mean-
we got any people who are in Connecticut? So amber is...
I love that it has flecks of like the actual whatever, like the
yeah.
bugs or whatever it was, the little flecks of wood.
It's hard to find real amber. Now, this is, by the way, this is real amber as well. This I got in Viking lands in Denmark.
You have so much amber. So what is your fascination
What's
with
my
amber?
obsession? What's with the amber?
Yeah.
Okay, this is what's with the amber. Amber, for me, is the great record keeper.
Oh, because it holds things in place. Like
It does. It holds anything
Yeah.
that lands in it.
Like
It will-
crystals, when they form, they record everything that's being.
Yes, where crystals are more oscillators, amber kind of are more like a library.
Yeah.
And it's the library that is inexhaustible. So for me, it resonates so profoundly.
But I love the whole outfit,
Oh,
the
thank you.
colors, and what they can't see is on the back is all this like cherry blossom.
Here you go. Can you all see that?
Oh,
Yeah, it's really cool.
I got to press my yoga twist to show the back of this shirt. Okay. Thank you. That's so sweet of you.
Yeah, definitely.
I have a confirmation.
Confirmation.
Allie said, thank you, Riz. Yes, I was dealing with a lot of loss in 2023.
You said Ali and you said Ali.
Allie or Ali, I'm not.
Is it one L or two?
One.
It's one.
All right. Okay.
Oh, I pronounced it wrong.
Okay.
I was dealing with a lot of loss in 2023, and that's when you said you felt the gatekeepers. Right?
Yes. I'm so glad that you got that. I'm connected to gatekeepers. It's a normal conversation, guys. It's not, you just sit there and go, I'm calling on my gatekeeper. Please listen to what I'm saying. No, they're sitting next to you going, go ahead. I'm listening. Just don't worry about all of that formalities. What is it? Yes, that's the relationship. The relationship is you have to open up your communication lines, and that's your part of your curriculum here on earth, is to step into more of your true self, which is your internal intelligence. You are psychic energy. You're not this, right?
That's not all you are. And I want to say the first time
Yes,
you
I'm more than
ever
my amber
said
pendant.
that
Yeah.
concept to me, it blew my mind when you said to me that the guides are just on standby, literally waiting for you. Like, they're literally doing this. They're like, just like waiting.
They're like personal
They're just
trainers
waiting.
at a
They're
gym.
just like, they're just like
We're like,
stretching.
you want me to-
They're
you
just
want me to
like,
spot you on that or not?
She doesn't see me. She doesn't hear me. He doesn't see me. Oh God, we're just here. Okay, we could be doing so much, but we just, no one's utilizing us. They're not
Right.
calling on us. They're not
Right.
asking us to
Right.
help. So, they're not wish makers. They're not a genie
They're
in a
not wish
bottle.
granters.
Yes, they're not wish granters. Sorry,
Right.
they're not genie in a bottle. Okay, what they're here to do is they're here to illuminate and help you lighten your load and help you see your path.
Right.
It's your job to do what you're here to do, and their job is to support, enhance, and help you. There's no judgment. They're neutral. And
Exactly.
they can't help you if you don't stop, look, and listen. Stop, learn, feel, go within, and understand, meditate, watch YouTube meditation videos, whatever you got to do to learn to get silent so that you could hear your guides. Also, your guides are guiding you constantly. You don't realize it. So like, let's say you just got fired from a job and you think that was the worst thing that ever happened to you.
Right.
You have no idea if the guides were instrumental in helping that process move along because there's a better job for you coming, and you don't know why anything really happens. And that's where Riz and I, at this stage in the game, let me
Yes.
tell you, after
Yes.
15 years together, and for me, I've been on this transformational journey since 2003. I just wanted to say that you get to this point, you guys, especially as healers, and we're like been doing this for a long time, is you surrender, and you surrender to the process. And Riz keeps talking about that tonight. Surrender to the process means that your life is in process. It's in play. You are on the journey of life, right? And you are learning as you go if you're smart. And so the guys around you are here to support you if you utilize them. So this whole thing is unfolding, right? So it's like a red carpet that's unfolding and unfolding and unfolding, even though you feel like maybe things are not going your way. It's still actually for you. It's about you. You're the star of the show, and you can't hide from yourself. The end. So what's happening is that you're actually starting to learn, if you're paying attention and watch all our shows and other people who have guided you here, is that you are going to learn how to surrender, and you're going to learn how to allow the process to unfold, allow things to occur. Do not try to stop them. Do not try to like put the brakes on, go uphill. If it feels awkward and it feels like it's not supposed to be happening, that's a sign. So you're supposed to release yourself from that burden of, I got to do this. I got to get through this. I got to push. When that happens, that's your first sign to stop everything you're doing and to pay attention to, why is it so difficult? If it's supposed to happen, it's easy and effortless. If you're supposed to be there, there's a magnetization, a chemistry, and a knowing that this is where you're supposed to be. Person, places, or things, you're going to feel home. And so that is exactly what you're looking for. You're a honing device. You're paying attention to your environment at all times. And so you let yourself, like GPS system, navigate. That's what all the spiritual teachings about on the internet that you guys see. It's just about to teach you how to learn to listen to yourself and navigate. If you spend a lot of time arguing with yourself, going back and forth, repeating the past, repeating your stories, your mantras, your circles, and you just keep going like a ticker tape, your stories, your beliefs, but you're not advancing in life, that's your clue that you need to shake it up. You need to find somebody to help you, a healer, a shaman. What you're doing right now is perfect. So, in one way, Riz and I are kind of like Amber. We're like the actual, what is that? Like it's not a gel. What is it that comes out of the tree?
Sea moss.
Sap. So that sap that comes down, right, and captures you, that's what happens to some of you who come here for free psychic readings. What we do is we also inject you with information. We're giving you information, wisdom teachings. We're teaching you how to reprogram yourself. So it's not just you're coming here just for free psychic readings. And that's how we're like Amber. We're like that sap, that golden sap that encases you and grabs you and says, hold on, you guys, there's something happening in your life right now, and don't take it for granted. Don't take it for granted if it's there in front of you. Pay attention to what is happening in front of you at all times. This is a gift, and it's a pleasure for us to be able to serve you guys and to give you these messages, and it's fantastic. But we're also here to help create a new conversation on the planet. And that's the entire reason we're doing everything we're doing. Our whole channel exists, is because we're helping to encourage others to help share the light with each and every person in their life, and hopefully this will spread. The point of the whole entire evening is to raise consciousness. That's what you want. You want to raise your consciousness, okay? As you go deeper into yourself and your truth, you're also advancing in your consciousness so that you can find out more about yourself, because that is what you want. Okay? That is I do little PSAs like this here and there. Cheers, baby doll.
Dinosaur agrees. I haven't named my dinosaur cup yet. If you guys would like to suggest some names for my dinosaur cup, I would greatly appreciate it.
Diane Morgan said, inject me.
You're being injected, you all. That is what is happening.
All right, I got a spirit shout out, an interesting one. By the way, was there anything about that name Barnaby or Barnabas that was coming through? No one yet. Again, the name Barnaby was coming through for something. Two things. One is someone here was on the other side is talking about one of you guys who had a pet tarantula. Please let me know who you are so I can find out about that. And number two, there is someone here who is also on the other side who had something to do with, you know what's the Grand Prix? It's that racing, that's a race, right? Like NASCAR Grand Prix. I think
Grand
NASCAR
Prix.
is separate from Grand Prix.
Is
maybe.
it?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know, but it is something. Someone had either used to go to the Grand Prix or had the flags from the Grand Prix, or maybe even was in the Grand Prix. But I keep hearing the Grand Prix, the Grand Prix. This person's on the other side. It's a man. Okay. All right.
Are we ready
Next
to go
question.
on?
Someone said you should name it Rizosaurus.
Rizosaurus.
It's the little mini me, is it? You know,
That person gets the prize. What's their name?
Taurus Moon Intuitive.
Of course it's Taurus Moon Intuitive. You get the name prize. That's an awesome name.
This is Rizosaurus.
That's Rizosaurus. You guys are really good.
And you know, we birthed him from this amber, like in Jurassic Park.
Oh my God. Going back in time.
All right, let's go for it.
All right, Adrian Wainscott.
So this is actually, just to give some context, this is Adrian from Virginia.
Adrian from Virginia.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
Someone who joined us.
Hello, Adrian. I remember us spending quite a bit of time together, and I hope I helped you as we went in, and then she spent time with you in Red Eagle, and it was great journey. Adrian Wainscott, hello, you guys are awesome, saved me, thank you. What's going on with my guides and angels? I'm working hard after my journey. My whole world is changed.
So what I'm getting with you, number one, very, very big Archangel Michael energy working with you. This is, how do I know? Well, that's just, I see the image and I see the colors of what I know symbolizes Archangel Michael energy around you, Adrian. Two things here. One of the things is a side psychic message that I want to give you, and then I'll do that at the end. And this one is about what some people call, after they do big shamanic experiences, they will need to integrate. How do I integrate what I experienced there into my life? Integration implies that there are two separate things and they need to be brought in together like this. That's not what transformation actually is. What transformation is the realization that all things are one experience, meaning that some people say, well, we are spiritual beings having a human experience. I say, no, you're a spiritual being having a spiritual experience, because everything here is a spiritual experience, because either you ignore it or you surrender to it. This ties in with people saying, how do I know I'm on my spiritual path? As a shaman, I will tell you that you are always on your spiritual path. It doesn't matter whether you are having a destructive phase of your life or you have a constructive phase of your life. It is still your spiritual path. If you've been an addict at that moment, that's part of your spiritual path. If you're in recovery, that's part of your spiritual path. If you fall off again, that's part of your spiritual path. If whatever whatever walk of life or whatever you're doing is your spiritual path. Your spiritual path is right where you stand. Now, everyone is on it. But here's the difference. Some people are consciously on their spiritual path, which means that they are understanding that all their experiences are one experience. So when you have a big transformational healing experience like plant medicine journeying, then you go, now I got to go back to my life. No, what this is doing, it's bringing you a new vision on how to see things differently. Your eyeglass, like she cleaned my sunglasses earlier, it's basically that. Your lenses get cleaned, okay? So that's what's going on, and then you have to get used to it. Do you know there's people who get surgeries that are having a big growth removed that was on their body, and finally it's off, and they go through a mourning period. They're actually, not that they're missing the growth on them, but it's like something was taken off, and they're in a very vulnerable state. So I would say to you, don't make big, giant moves. What you're doing is, because you don't want to scare people, what you want to be able to do is allow yourself to be received while you're receiving yourself. And that's a big thing that happens. People who I work with all the time go, I have such a huge change and no one's understanding me. And I go, be gentle, because they don't know what's going on, and it can scare them, even when it's good. So relax and realize that there's no emergency anymore. What there is a relaxation into you're safe, everyone's safe, no one is wrong, you're experiencing your expansion. And to breathe into that day to day, breathing into it. Side psychic message, you are supposed to be taking a lot of pictures. Isn't that interesting? I don't know if you've ever been into photography, Adrian, but your guides are saying it's time to take pictures, and take pictures of people. Go up to the people in your life while they're doing stuff and say, you look so beautiful right now, and take a picture of them and say, can I please? I need to see this. You look so beautiful. And do this to your friends, and do this to your family members and your loved ones. Maybe even do it to some strangers. And you have the right energy. It's kind of like where your healing energy is going to come through. Tarantula. Who's got the tarantula?
Actually, it's Ali, who you previously gave a message to, but one of their brothers passed. His name was Woody.
Yes.
And he had a pet tarantula, and
thank you.
Ali accidentally killed it.
Well, first of all, I want to know whether it's Ali or Ali, so we just keep going back and forth with him. Can you please just write down how we spell your name, and if you're a boy or girl or whatever you identify as? Okay, so now
The second part, I don't
is,
think you need to do.
Yeah.
Huh?
The first part only.
The brother is laughing about this, so don't worry about it. You're off the hook for killing the tarantula. There you go, guys.
Aww.
How specific can you be?
Look who's here with us. Look who joined us.
Who? Oh, Rocket's here. Did you see the cute picture I posted on Instagram of Rocket? I posted like 4 in a row.
Oh, I haven't
because you
seen
left me
it.
alone to babysit him.
Aww.
So he was on me like that.
Aww.
And so I took a bunch of pictures.
So
guys, go to my
yeah.
Insta and see these cute pictures of this dog.
This dog?
Yes.
For sure. Let's see the pictures of this dog.
I mean, did I post them? I'm trying to see. Did I really?
Okay.
I thought I posted them.
Thank you to you, Lady O.
Mm-hmm.
Simone said, "Oh, Lady O, you gave me advice on my oldest daughter who was mentally struggling a few months ago. Wanted to give you an update. We are talking and she's doing well. I try to tell her every day how much I love her."
Aw.
That's fantastic. I hope you guys heard Erica, what she said. That is really, really good. Oh, there we are. I see her. Yeah, so...
All right.
It is Allie.
It's Allie. Well, Allie, your brothers, you're off the hook about the tarantula. How did you kill the tarantula and why? I'd like to know that. Hey, I wanted to announce, so I'm doing a shamanic group in the Arizona area in November, and we have a couple of spaces. So if you'd like to be led in these experiences and sit in our channeling, you can. If you're within driving distance of the Phoenix area or the Sedona area, drop a note and you can be with us. Okay. What else have we got? More questions. Let's keep them coming. Come on.
Patricia, come on. Look at this list.
Yeah,
Look at
let's
how
go.
long we
Ooh,
got.
that's the list. All right.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about that. We've got plenty, Riz. Okay, Patricia Sullivan. Do I have a spirit guide? And do they have any messages for me?
So, Patricia, everyone has spirit guides. I've never met a person who didn't. I've even walked by homeless people in the street, and I've seen a guide with the homeless person. And the first time I saw that, I said to myself, first of all, I was shocked, right? Because I do feel and hear spirit guides, and sometimes I can physically see them. Well, I saw the guide. And first thing, when I was taken aback, and I said, in my mind, I was like, so like, what is this about? Like, in 1 second, my whole thing of like, if this person's homeless, why aren't you helping them? And this is where I got this teaching. The spirit guide said, we don't interfere. What we do is we are here to help you connect the dots and discover the next logical step for you to be able to see it.
And that step could be something that in many other lifetimes you have not been able to accomplish.
Could be.
But if you paid attention this lifetime, this is where Deja Vu comes in. Watch some of our videos on Deja Vu on our main page. But you're right, that step, that logical step could take years, days, months, years. You don't know how long. It just depends on how much work you do on yourself.
Well, what they're doing is the work you're doing on yourself is really the surrender to understanding that you can be quiet enough in yourself to know that the signs and the messages are subtle. They don't usually hit you over the head. Okay, so Patricia, yes, you do have spirit guides, and let me see who your guides are. I want to describe the guide that I see because there's an endless visuals of what these guides look like. It's quite psychedelic, actually. So she's a goddess, but she's covered. It's like her dress is made of flowers. She has flowers all over. The actual dress is made of flowers, and it's multicolored flowers, and it's so beautiful as I see it. And what she is working on with you and what she's guiding you in is the path of trusting your gentleness, Patricia. I feel like you've had to, for lack of a better way of saying it, well, this is a good way of saying it, actually, is that maybe you were a little... where you've had to be the fighter or more in your masculine to survive. And this is now the time for you to surrender into whatever version of yin energy. Yin energy means feminine energy. We all have to have yin and yang energy in us. It doesn't matter what gender we are. It's yin and yang is the energy. So the yin energy is the intuitive, receptive, the artistic, the creative, and the nurturing, right? Those are all yin. And this is the time you're stepping into, and she's leading you into that. And of course, her name is Rosie. So, but she spells it R-O-S-Y, not R-O-S-I-E. So Rosie, like roses. Yes. Also, I'm curious, have you ever made your way down to, there's a place called Belize, interestingly enough. You should, if you ever get a chance to take a trip or vacation. I've never been, but I've heard it's quite beautiful. But I feel that there's some connection, past life, that you have to there. Also, there's someone here on the other side that was connected to you that had some sort of blood disorder. I don't know what a blood I can't, I'm not a doctor, but I'm going to describe the way I see it. Yeah, let me know if you know who that is, and I can go further. Okay, that's your guide. Rosie's your main spirit guide right now. Next.
Okay. Much love to both. Brother-in-law Colin passed away a year ago. Does he have a message for my sister Mary? Thank you.
And who is asking this question?
Mary is asking. Oh, wait, sorry.
That's the sister.
B is the name of
How do you spell
the
it?
person asking the question. B-E-A.
B is asking for her sister Mary, whose husband,
Her husband,
Colin, passed away
last year.
I'm not getting him directly, but my guides are giving me some messages. Is there one child or the first child? I don't know why I just see one child. Yes. And these are very specific kind of moments, and maybe you can convey this. I don't know if Mary's watching here. But when Mary's sleeping and she's like turning over on her side, he's like placing his energy or his arm around her. That's what I'm seeing. I kind of feel like she's onto her right side is where I see it, to be very specific. Also, Florida is coming into play here. I don't know what the connection is here. Also, is there some connection? Look, I say a couple of things that are going to sound random to you, but maybe you'll know what I'm talking about. So where are there moose? What state is that? I don't know where moose are. Or maybe moose or like hunting has something to do with this. Somebody on this other side of the family, I don't know if it's Colin himself, but it's like someone who hunted big game. They're talking about that. Also, April is a big heart around this month for some reason. And I believe that message about turning over on the side is sending her blessings to help her to sleep better. Also, I'm also getting a message about
B says no kids.
Okay, thank you. Changing the living space, so moving into another space. That's okay. That's what I'm getting also. Also, the month of February here is very important. He's going to be pointing the direction. He's going to be kind of like where she's going to get messages of like where to go next, left or right. And he's showing me a hand like this. You see how I'm grabbing the hand like this? Is how he's showing me, like he's sending this. By the way, she has actually felt him. He's saying she has felt him, his presence. Do you know what that Florida connection is?
She lives in Florida.
She lives in Florida. Thank you. Look, it's been a year. He's still going to be acclimating, and this feels very much like a shock. This does not feel expected to me. But I do have to say this. Even though you talked about him passing last year, I feel like there was some sign of this 2 years earlier. So if he passed in 2023, then 2 years earlier would be the 21 time period. I'd love to know if you have a confirmation on that. Thank you.
So I have an empath question coming in.
By the way, he's also talking about a bracelet. Does she have is it like a tennis bracelet? I don't know.
Just to confirm really quick,
yeah.
She can't sleep.
She can't sleep.
That's
Okay.
correct.
Okay.
And he died in February.
He died in February. Thank you. I'm so sorry to hear this. You know, as a medium, I have to tell you though, I have this strange honor and responsibility at the same time to give it to you the way that I hear it and see it. So many times, I can feel the person's loss, but when I connect to them, I quietly feel this peace and joy because I know, right? Because I didn't know them, so I don't have that emotional bond with them. I just feel their energy, which is very solid and open and expansive and loving, and that's what I get.
Okay, so some empathic stuff coming in.
Mm-hmm.
So first of all, there's a couple questions. I can kind of get 2 or 3 people all together and just do it at one shot.
Sure.
So Cancer, the person with the Cancer sign, she's saying she has enough going on with her feelings already as it is. To be an empath on top of that is insane. So her name is Patricia. So my daughter is a Cancer, and my Cancer South Node, I have a Cancer South Node. So they, this water, this energy, this water energy, water signs always have to deal with emotions, regardless if you're an empath or not. You are going to be feeling a lot of emotions.
Yep.
What I've taught my daughter, who went through her very dark emo stage at like 10 to 14, a lot of it had to do with the divorce, moving, not feeling accepted at school, being of mixed race. There was a lot of things. She went totally dark. And how we all handled her as a family is we didn't resist any of it. What we did was we circled around her and made it fun. We made it an art form. We made it like she was...
We didn't resist it.
Yeah. We made it like if it was like a good thing what she was doing.
Yeah.
We liked her emo makeup. We liked how she acted. And she didn't get the effect she thought she was going to get by being rebellious and angry, because we just embraced her and accepted her like this is just what she's going through. This is the stage. Now, this is actually really great for Cancers or any water signs into the future as you grow into adults, is that if you don't resist your emotions, you can turn it into a masterpiece. So for example, Tom Cruise is a Cancer. So you can't even imagine.
Is he?
Such a disciplined human being.
Sylvester Stallone's a Cancer.
How is this possible? These super controlled, disciplined, compassionate, artistic, very talented people are Cancers. And the reason why is once you allow it to become your fuel, you water signs, allow your emotions to become your fuel, that you can swim in your waters and turn it into art, turn it into design, turn it into creation, any kind of creative activity.
So own your power.
Own your power. Work with your
sensitivity as your strength.
Yes. Right. And water signs especially, because, forget about even being an empath, just being a water sign. Also, I want to mention that Erica is a fantastic, amazing astrologer and intuitive tarot reader. And you guys can connect with her anytime. She has been with us for over a decade. She's trained under us. And as a matter of fact, she's, I think, better than a lot of readers that we've ever been to for astrology. But I would want to say that she also helps families and children to get to know each other better by understanding their star signs. And she also helps parents with nonverbal children. She donates her services to people with verbal communication issues, and what helps the parents is to know more about their children through their star sign, and finding out what their sun and moon and rising and all their other aspects helps the parents know how to connect with their children better, how to help them feel better and more comfortable in their house, what colors they like, feelings they have. It's all in your star chart if you know how to read it. So if you guys want a reading and find out more about how to navigate your sign, and you don't have to feel like lost in it, you can find Erica here. She'll give you her link, and she'll help you navigate through those. So as far as the empaths in the room, and then I'll turn it back over to Riz. The empaths in the room, being an empath is an ongoing challenge, okay? Yes, it is overwhelming. You have to get comfortable with being overwhelmed. That is the thing. You have to see yourself as a superhero, supercharged, supernova. You have to see yourself as an X-Men. You have to see yourself as somebody with extraordinary abilities. In this current timeline, what we have been made out to be since the beginning of our current civilization, in many cases, not in all cases, not in every culture, but in many cases, we're made out to be the crazy ones. We are the ones that are disturbed, unbalanced. There's a lot of things wrong with us. And it's because we have a very intricate system. There's a lot of details and a lot of things we have to know about ourselves to be able to navigate. Where people who are not empaths, it's a little bit easier. So what happens is you have to understand that this is not a curse, it's an actual blessing. But until you understand how to use it, it does feel like a curse. And that's where people get depressed. And that's where they turn to addiction. And that's because You just feel so much, and it's too much, and you can't get out of it. You feel like you're drowning or you're spinning out of control. So these little tips that we give you guys, and if you're new, go back to our old shows, watch them all. We give so much wisdom in between the readings, and we let you guys know exactly how to get control of a lot of these really powerful skills you have and psychic abilities that you have. And you get to know how to discover them and how to find them. And you know, we don't have a lot of time to go into that in just one session, but if you go back through a lot of our videos, we cover all these topics.
Yeah. And they can watch my Psychic Lab series.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's an awesome series. I can't wait for you to do more. Because,
yeah, we're dropping a new one this week. So I got some spirit shout-outs. I sure do. Ready for the spirit shout-outs?
Ready.
Erica, are you ready for the spirit shout-outs?
Ready.
Hold on, let's spray this. This is my spray. I call it Instant Spiritual Bookstore. I'm going to spray you. Ready? If you could smell this, it smells like an instant spiritual bookstore. There you go. Okay. Yes. Okay. There's somebody here who's got a couple of parking tickets or car violation tickets, maybe it's moving violations, and who are just keep procrastinating about this. And your dad, who's on the other side, is like, get on it. Number two, this name, Nikki. This feels like a sibling actually is saying the name. I think this is either their name or the person or their sibling's name, Nikki here. So that's for you. What else? Anybody else want to say anything? Did we get that Grand Prix person earlier, guys? I gave a spirit shout out, that racing NASCAR Grand Prix person on the other side who collected these. I think they collected these memorabilias from that sport. So if you're just joining us, let me know if that's you. All
okay,
right.
we got our next one.
All right.
Evening, Riz and Lady O.
Good evening.
I watched the Sunday lives multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
I never had a reading. I'm curious to know what messages my guides have for me, or
Sure.
do you sense any messages from past loved ones? Tanya.
Sure. Well, Tanya, if there's a particular person, then I would need their name. Did you say something, Erica?
Tanya also has past due tickets.
Tanya, there you go, Tanya. Tanya, did you lose your dad? Okay, there's a male connected to you with the and keeps talking about it. And isn't it amazing, guys, how this works? I give the spirit shout out. Simultaneously, Tanya's typing in her question, and it's the ticket thing is related to her. This is what we call the synergy, synchronicity, everything, right? Okay. So yes, Tanya, stay on top of this. Dot your I's and cross your T's. Make sure that these things are handled in your life. Get organized. Stop the procrastination. I always like to say is, guys, as far as procrastination goes, put it off till tomorrow. You can always procrastinate tomorrow. Just say, I'm going to put my procrastination off till tomorrow or next week. You'll do it then. Okay. Now, as far as Tanya goes, you do have a spirit guide working with you. By the way, Tanya, I'm curious, how's your sinuses and your sense of smell? Are you okay with that in this lifetime? Because I see this past life of yours where you had no sense of smell and your sinuses were not working that well. It was a very, very cold environment you were living in, almost like a Siberia type of environment, like tundra. But it was actually a pretty good life. I'm just only talking about where I see this physical thing. So do a lot of breath work. Learn how to do aromatherapy, Tanya. That's very, very good for you. You have a vivid imagination, Tanya. You kind of get lost in it sometimes is what I feel. And you need to trust that more because that's where your creative spark is. And that's where your greatest successes are going to be in that. Okay? All right.
Can I drop one of my little exercises I like to give people, like a little surprise exercise?
Of course you can.
So I try to give everybody a little exercise to do either during the week or in the moment. And I felt called like right now in the moment that people can work on this right now.
Okay.
So for those of you that are struggling with anything, have any questions and are bothered by something and something's hurting you in some way, I'm going to show you how to use this technique that you've heard many times before, but it's been played out and run through the, how do you say it? Run through the
gamut, the mill
to where it loses its spark, its meaning. So I'm going to try to bring it back wipe it off, freshen it up so that you guys can experience this again. So focus on your issue. Focus on the problem. Focus on the thing that's bothering you. Focus on the area that you're uncomfortable. Okay? Get it in your psychic grip. Have it right here. Hold it right in front of you. Now take a closer inspection of it and say to yourself, what here in this feeling that I'm having, no matter what it is, good or bad, especially bad, let's focus on negative.
Yeah.
So what here, what little thing in this area can I have and find gratitude that it is actually good for me that I'm experiencing this so that I can become more intimate with myself, learn more about myself, calm down, center, and find more, find out more about yourself in the situation. So for instance, a lot of people, what they do is they see their problem and they see it removed from them, like they're observing it from outside. They're looking at it over here and they're trying to tackle it. They're trying to shoot arrows at it. They're trying to manipulate it. They're trying to machine gun it. They're trying to do things to solve their problem like it's not them. Like it just is an issue that they're trying to deal with, not realizing that it's there for you. It's actually more intimate. It's actually your creation. So if it's in your scope, if it's in your field, if it's there in front of you, it is for you. And it's for you to understand more about yourself and not to use a harsh brush stroke, like paintbrush, not to be scrubbing, but use gentle brush strokes. Learn how to listen and be quiet so you can understand what is there for you to learn. And gratitude will help you get there. It's a proper way to use gratitude. You can have gratitude for anything at any time, but to really use it for its exceptional abilities and for it to release the hard pressure, harsh lines, and difficult, painful experiences that you're having. Bring gratitude to the situation. It's like a salve. Is that how you say it? Like to put over a wound? When you put gratitude on anything, if you find a moment, a piece of any part of your problem and put gratitude, like I'm grateful for this experience and it has to be authentic. What happens is it starts to melt away, soften, and lessen that load, take the sharp lines off, release, relax, and starts to work on you. And you believe it or not, you're going to start to see changes in your life when you start to have more gratitude. And like I said, people use the word gratitude loosely and use it randomly, but just like the word love.
Yeah.
But I will say to you that if you use it properly and use the word gratitude properly, you can actually change your entire life right now in this moment while we're listening and talking, and you could feel peace instantly right now.
I do believe that gratitude is our bridge and our key back to sanity when we feel that we're losing it or the world has lost it or both. That if you can slow down enough, and here's the interesting thing about gratitude I find is that, you know, when we were kids, my parents would say, be grateful you have a roof over your head and clothes on your back.
Right.
I could never relate to that. I didn't care who was starving in what country, and we came from India, and I didn't care. I mean, it was how I was. That's, you know, when you're a kid, that's like, if you don't want to eat your peas, you don't want to eat your peas. You don't care who's starving.
Right.
Now, it's because you have to find the thing that you're actually grateful for, which is probably why parents take away your favorite thing, right? Okay. So you have to slow down enough to say, okay, maybe you can't at this moment really connect to being grateful for the big things. But what about those tiny things? What about the flavor of something? What about how, I don't know, how the cover of this book feels? Really, you might have to go that tiny.
Yeah, you might have to start
You just have to go, well, okay, I just like the way this feels. I like this blanket. That's a very good point. Right? So that's where, how to break through that density of getting to gratitude, because after so many years of dealing with all the things you're talking about, most people can't get through that density. They're just like, they're right there and it feels like you're a zombie. Like, okay, I know that there's a problem. I know I have to be grateful, but I can't get to the feeling.
Because their brain is like so on fire.
Yeah, well, that's why, guys, look, you got to find a shaman near you or come to us or whatever. But you have to start experiencing shamanic healing. It is part of all of us.
Well, this is a great opportunity.
All of our ancestors. It doesn't matter the color of your skin. We're all indigenous to the planet, okay? nobody owns the word indigenous. Everybody's indigenous to somewhere, and we're all indigenous to this planet. And by the way, we're not indigenous to this planet. We don't even come from this planet. This is why we only stay here a little time. So that's how I feel about indigenous.
Well, if you ever want to have a shamanic experience
well,
with
let me
us,
talk about that. So
those dates
why
that
you
we
have to
gave
pay
you.
attention to shamanic teachings is that this is wisdom from the earth and the cosmos that are part of us, and you can get trapped by the ideas of everything is about muscling your way through this life, and it's all about money, and it's all about what you have and what you get and how to survive and trying to stay safe and all of that. And the next thing you know, you're the age that you are, and look how fast the last 10 years go. Add another 10 years to that. If you're 30, look how fast it was from when you were 20, and then in another 10 years is going to go by like that, unless you know how to slow it all down. And gratitude is the way to slow it all down. Okay, so do practice that. I'm ready for some more questions. Let's do a whole bunch.
Spirit shout out.
Spirit shout out.
Okay. First of all, Tanya said, "Thank you so much, Riz. To know my dad is looking over me is confirming. I didn't find out who he was until 3 years ago. He didn't know I existed."
Oh.
So that message meant a lot to her.
Wow, Tanya.
You said something about Grand Prix.
Yes.
So there's a woman named Barbara.
Barbara.
Her older brother named Whit. He passed in 1995.
Whit.
Whit.
W-H.
W-I-T.
W-I-T.
It's witty.
Like he's witty.
Yes. He had a Trans Am Indy pace car.
Thank you.
And many muscle cars.
Many muscle, and he had the pace car, which goes in those races. Okay. Thank you. And he's crossed over.
Yes.
Thank you. We finally got to him because he kept for the last hour. Barbara, your brother keeps showing me racing cars, and these weren't cars that are like, like your dad Oriah was into all those cars. And
classic
No,
cars.
it wasn't about classic cars. It was about in those races. He kept showing me those checkered flags. And that's kind of like his version of heaven, by the way. He's like winning all the races and competing on the other side. Yes, it's true. Not everyone's heaven is the same. We all get our heaven. Like, I'm not interested in robes and pillars and temples. I'm interested in all these really wild experiences in heaven where I get to, go through portals and experience and finally hear my cat's voice. You want to know what my spirit guide said to me recently today, by the way?
What?
So I was looking at our cat Poof. And I said, she was on the bed all day, and she's this big, poofy, black, magical cat. She's pure love. And I said, wow. And I walked in the room, and I looked at her. Her eyes were closed. And mentally, I said her name, and she turned and she looked at me. Yeah. So
I love that.
So I asked myself, boy, what would your voice sound like? And then my spirit guide, Red Eagle, came in and said, well, when you go to the other side, you're going to hear it.
Oh.
So you're going to hear your pets speak in a human voice, and they're going to have their own characteristics, and they're going to have a conversation with you. Okay.
On that
so there you
note-
go. That's your brother letting you know that he's the king of the race, and he is the Grand Prix winner on the other side, and he loves you, and that's why he wanted to take this time and pop into a psychic YouTube show on a Tuesday night when it's supposed to be on a Sunday.
Well, guess what we haven't talked about?
Well, I got to do more readings.
And we haven't said anything
What?
yet.
Well, what?
That people can join us because even
Oh,
though
yeah,
we're
we
going
should
to
keep talking
cross,
about that.
even though we're going to cross over our timeline, which is great. I wanted, and we'll get back to readings. We do international retreats, you guys. They're called Sacred Earth Retreats. We go around the world to sacred sites.
Egypt has, Erica, is it one spot open for
Yes.
Egypt, but it has to be a guy.
And Sedona
There's a
just opened up.
Okay, so
one spot in Sedona
one
coming
spot
up
in Sedona, August 26th through 29th in Sedona. It's going to be 3 or 4 days of amazing energy vortexes, channeling, shamanic journeying. It's going to be fantastic. Sedona, we do like 4 times a year now, but these spots never open up. We have one spot, August 26th through 29th. If you want it, you will get you get a little discount. I'm going to throw it in Erica. I'm going to give them a little discount.
They have to do it really quick.
No, they have to do it like,
Okay.
otherwise it's going to go within a day or two. Now, we also have a spot for Egypt. If you ever wanted to see the pyramids, and boy, you should go once in your life. And of course you should go with us. Of course I'm going to say you should go with us because I know what happens on our retreats. It's a kindred spirits are together. Everything is perfectly planned from morning to night. We stay at wonderful hotels. There's wonderful food. There's channeling. There's energy vortexes. There's the history of the pharaohs and all of that. You're going to learn that.
Well, you find out what your past lives are when you go on these retreats, especially Egypt. But I thought Egypt is fully booked at this moment.
There's one spot for a man,
Oh
but it
my
has to be a
God.
man because it's a shared room. Of
Okay.
course, separate beds, but you share a room. Most on our retreats, you have shared rooms unless you pay more to get a solo room.
Well-
but that's what retreats are. So if you're a guy who wants to go to Egypt or you know a guy who you'd like to gift that to, if you send us a little message now, we will get in contact with you, tell you all the details, and you will get a special discount from me personally for you or your male friend. Now,
Awesome.
again, if you're going to be if you'd like to join us on a shamanic experience with me personally on a private experience, and you are in the Arizona area, the Phoenix area, or you can get to it, it's going to be in November, second week of November, but you have to sign up now because it's going to go once I do it. Now, let's go more to the readings.
All right. So, Jewel, my dad Bill passed on April 3rd, 2018. I need to know if he forgives me for leaving him at the time of passing. I was not in a
Man.
good spot.
Oh, I hear
That
you.
happened to me when my father
that's
crossed.
exactly what I was
wasn't.
thinking right
I was
now.
his only child, and I wasn't there
it
when
was
he
an
crossed,
argument before
because
that
we
he
were arguing,
passed. Oh.
and it was a negative thing said on the phone, and we didn't talk to each other, and then he crossed from a massive heart attack. Yeah.
I'm going to actually give you the message that I'm getting from him. He's like, the way I'm going to put it is you were just kind of showing the side of yourself that's just like him. You were the unexpressed part of himself. And your dad, by the way, was deeply in his feelings and in his feminine energy, which is so important for a man to be in. And he was in that. And he is in that. I'm getting there's nothing to forgive. There's nothing to forgive. You went to you said this to his, at his grave? Did you say this at his grave? Because you don't need to say it there. He hears you now. It's good to say you're sorry. It's not that they need to hear it, but it is a kind of an affirmation of your surrender. That's what I'm sorry is. So you're surrendering to kind of just letting go and knowing that you're safe to express that. And that's what he's bringing through.
Yes, she did at the grave.
Say it louder.
Yes, I did at the grave. That's what she said. Yes, I did.
Yes, you did. Yeah. Well, he heard you there. No, he's proud of you for the battles that you're fighting. Okay? All right. Next.
So, Hippie Love, what was her name again?
Yasmin.
Yasmin. So, you said, what's going on when you're dreaming of kicking, pushing, or slapping something away, or when you wake up and you're actually doing it to your spouse, my poor husband? So, this happens to Riz every single night. That's why I wanted to take this.
Wait, what?
Not hitting me or kicking me or anything, but he's constantly jerking his body. So here's what it is. It is pent up energy. And because he has to be so precise and so still for such long hours, for so many people, so quiet, and he's a Leo, so he has all this like intense energy, and he has to it's like a surgeon, has to be very intricate, very detailed. And so if you don't have a release, or if you don't have a way to get that out with working out or whatever it is, right? Like to remove that or loosen that energy. And he's been working on this for years, and he's finally gotten it to a place where it's not so bad. But that's what that is. It's pent up energy.
Very much so. It's what's
microdosing and journeying on psilocybin will help a lot.
Yes, I will also absolutely, because this is nervous system energy. Not that you're nervous. You're not nervous. This is just electrical charged energy going
currents,
through you.
Yeah.
But understand this: all power generators, even they do maintenance where they, I don't know the technical words, but power generators also that run cities, there's maintenance where they lower the frequency or they raise it or whatever it may be. And in many cities around the world, where the infrastructure of the power grid, they need to shut it down for a couple of hours, right? Okay.
South Africa.
Anywhere. I mean, everywhere. South Bronx. Okay. So what we're saying here to you, Yasmin, is this, and you got to take this seriously because it's, this is, it's funny at night sometimes, but it's also annoying to the other person. But this is you taking really control of yourself and understanding that you have to do something about this. This is not something you need to do. What I would recommend for you, number one, is you need to integrate more deep, slow yoga. And that would be restorative yoga, the kind they use with block. You have to get into restorative yoga. You should be doing it twice a week. First of all, it will keep you young. And I'm going to tell you these are all physical things you need to do. Another thing is you need to chant or sing very loudly if you have a private space where you can really let it out. And I'm not saying screaming it, and I'm not saying yelling it. It has to be resonant, fully supported in the voice, in the diaphragm of the body, and allowing you toning. So it's the Om, and then going in different tones with that. It's very, very important. Last but not least, shaking your body out. Literally doing free movement, not all the time controlled, beautiful yoga movements, but silly moving your body around and shaking out. Do it when no one is there so you don't feel embarrassed. I do it. I don't care if anybody's there on top of it, because this is little kids know this, by the way. They shake it out all the time. Very important.
You have a birthday coming up?
I do. August 20th is my birthday.
Would you like to tell everybody how old you're going to be?
I'm going to be... There's a song called I Can't Drive 55 by Sammy Hagar. So classic rock song. And do you know that song, I Can't Drive 55?
So to me, you look 35.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
So
thank you. I'm going to be 55.
Jealous, but fantastic.
Well, I will tell you my anti-aging package. It is lots of laughter, spirit guide channeling, Vitamix blender, superfoods, microdosing, gratitude,
microdosing again,
working out,
right,
stretching my body every single day, singing, number one, music, creativity, and
you just got a new hung drum.
It's actually a steel drum.
I would give anything to watch you play a little bit right now.
Oh well,
it's right there.
It has to be put on the stand and all that kind of stuff. I'll play it next time. But yes, and getting another anti-aging thing that I'll recommend to everyone is buy yourself toys. Buy yourself toys. What do you think Amazon and eBay and Etsy are for? You can go buy the toys that you loved when you were a kid that either you lost or your parents refused to get you, or you broke and you go, I wish I still had that. They have them on eBay. I got Rock'em Sock'em Robots back in the day. I always wanted it. My parents didn't want it because that is too violent. Why do you want to hit another robot? I'm like, there's no game called Peaceful Robots. It's Rock'em Sock'em Robots. So they wouldn't buy it for me.
Did you have a hard time with your parents regarding like toys and them understanding?
They didn't want me to do anything violent because Indians like are very peaceful people. Unless we're killing each other, then we're very violent. But when it comes to outside world, we're very peaceful. So that's the thing. I went and got all these toys. Over the years, I would buy myself toys. Even books that I used to read that people forgot about, that I didn't know how to get them, I would find them online. And I actually take the time. And you know that sometimes I'll be in bed on my phone.
Yeah.
And I'm literally looking at something I read when I was in 5th grade that I used to love, and I find the book and I order it. And it comes in the mail, and it's such a great feeling.
Well, if anybody is interested in sending Riz a birthday present, he's into Scooby-Doo, and address is in the description down below. He didn't know I was going to say that. I just got him. Scooby-Doo is the name of the game. And WWF Retro.
Kiss stuff. Anyway.
He didn't know I was going to do this, you guys. Look at his face.
That's really funny.
I just totally got him. I totally got him. That's my early birthday present for you.
Okay. I'm going to tell you something really weird. I have a really weird spirit shout out. This one's really weird.
It was really random coming in at this very moment.
Yeah, it's the last one of the night. I don't know who's going to get it tonight. So there's someone here on the other side who used to mix like soda and milkshakes, like a vanilla milkshake with like Coke or Pepsi in it.
Vanilla milkshake.
Like take a vanilla milkshake, and I see them pouring like Coke
like
or
a root
Pepsi
beer
in
float?
it. Yeah, but it's not root beer. It's like Coke or Pepsi.
Oh, wow.
Is that your like loved one who used to do this, or do you do that? What is that? What the hell does that taste like? Okay, let me know, because that person.
Well, while we're waiting for that, let's go to the next one.
All right, we'll do one more question.
My name is Kayla. Who are my guides, and what do I need to know?
Give me a couple of questions, because I'm not knowing
All
if that's
right,
the one I'm
next
supposed
one.
to answer.
Steph, could you please ask my guides what they wished I would work on most? I continuously feel scattered.
And what's the third one?
Stormy Norman. Hey, Lady O and Riz. Been a day with no power from hurricane that hit Texas. Just wanted to ask if there was any messages for me and my guides.
Yes, that's what I'm supposed to answer. See how my guides work? Because what was I talking about less than 90 seconds ago? The power grid.
Ah.
Right?
Right.
So was it Stormy Norman? Is that what he said?
Yes. That
Stormy Norman was like, what was that?
Stormy Norman.
Stormy Norman. Man, you're out in Texas with a... Okay, so I knew there was a reason I was talking about the power grid. Okay. I was saying that to Yasmin, remember?
Yeah.
Okay. And his question is what?
His question is, we assume this is a male because it says Stormy, right? It just feels that way? Oh, you thought it was a
Stormy, it's a Stormy Norman.
Well, is that the last name?
Last name.
Because there's people actually with a first name that's Stormy.
That's
and there's
a cool name.
females with that name,
Yeah.
with
Yep.
an I and a Y. So we don't know
whatever I
what's
might
happening.
say, I might say, I'm just going to say
Okay,
Stormy.
so just want to ask if there was any messages for me and my guides.
Yes, there is. Thank you. I know this is the one I'm supposed to answer. Yeah, I have two. This is like going to be in 2 or 3 parts. Stormy Norman. One is I have to talk about building businesses and entrepreneurship. If that's something you're doing or interested in, this is going to get a boost next year. It's good news. Always good news, right? That you're going to be more successful. But I do see it, so I'm telling you. Number 2, there's an upgrade in your health that needs to happen that is more about... oh, interesting, I said more because they just said less is more. What that means when my guides tell me less is more when it comes to health, it means that it is not the repetition of the way that you are exercising your body. It is more about the quality, or it's not the quantity, it's the quality. So if you work out 5 times a week, it's not better than 3 times a week that's a little bit more intense. So more rest rather than more activity. So the activity that you do makes you rest more. That's actually better for you at this moment, is what I'm getting. Also, this is time for you to smooth things out with people. Even if you feel that they are wrong, it doesn't matter. It's not worth it. Just say that you'll try to do better and it's okay and you don't mind, and even if you have to ask forgiveness, even when you don't feel like you should be asking for forgiveness. This is just so that you move through this chapter. It's not even worth it. And letting this all go more. Those are your messages.
So, there's a lot of people who have grandmothers that did Pepsi and Coke.
What?
Yeah, apparently a lot of people do this combo.
This is a very big combo. I'm going to
Throw the names out and I'll tell you who it's from.
I think it might be this one. It's Shannon, her great-grandmother Winifred.
Is there anybody with an H name?
Okay, we'll find out.
Okay. And who else?
No, not yet. So that was the main one that I got like a name with.
Okay.
The previous message from Ethel, she also loved doing Pepsi and milk.
And milk.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Okay, so that she came through already for some.
Oh, she came through already. Okay. Well, she's still hanging around. Ethel's still hanging around. and that's what she's drinking on the other side.
There are so many grandmas.
I can't believe it. But also, if there is one person with the H name, let me know.
Okay. Yeah, not yet, but if
okay.
anyone says.
Wow, guys, what a night this has been.
This has been incredible.
We're going to be back on Sunday night also. Just in a few more, in 5 more days, we'll be back here. So if you didn't get your question answered tonight, maybe it'll get answered on Sunday.
And that is all.
And that is all, my friends.
That is all, my friends.
Live long and prosper. Enjoy your evening. Enjoy your life. Enjoy the week. Time goes by so fast. Time goes by so slowly. What Madonna song is that?
Thing that you say I do. Come on. Hung up.
Oh, good song.
What, you gonna leave us hanging? What's the second?
Stuck
On you. Every night and day. Come on. You're running on you. You know, Madonna was like my mother. She raised me. So, because my mom is from Honduras. My mom is from Honduras. She was 4'11".
I know it's funny. Everybody, all my life with you, people don't know that like you're half Latina. Even because you look so Viking. You grew up speaking Spanish in your house. Your dad was
Español un poquito.
Okay,
I always say that. Riz actually speaks better Spanish than me.
Yes, it's okay.
And he likes to always admit that and always say, yes, that's true. I do actually speak better Spanish. And he always says that. Look at his face.
You know,
he actually wants to say it.
No, I was feeling Manny right now.
Oh, you were?
Yeah, you're talking about her because she's around.
Oh, so yeah, being raised with a mother that, is from those regions, Santa Barbara, Honduras, and she was she grew up in a coffee plantation with 14 brothers and sisters. So I didn't relate to her at all, being from Los Angeles, California, born in Hollywood, California. Could not relate.
And your dad is this big Viking
and
white,
my dad is this Viking
blonde.
White, Danish, Scottish, English dude.
Yeah.
And so I fell in love with Madonna. Yeah. Madonna raised me. Can you tell?
Yes, I can tell. Well, guys, thank you so much. We love you for joining us, and be well. We wish you all the best. And
Namaste.
Bless.
Adios.